Welcome to episode 16 of Sprites, Bytes, and Pixels. Today we have not one special guest, not three, but two special guests. We have John, who's with us, and we have Bobby, who is with us for the past two episodes. He just loves us so much. He's like, guys, I need an excuse to hang out with you guys. And Wilson has become a clay fighter.
Spider-Man!
We're
going to talk about Spider-Man today.
That's very interesting, Wilson. I like it. But
I'm going by.
Back to our topic. So what are we talking about today? We're going to be talking about multiplayer gaming. And what does that mean? It's what was multiplayer gaming considered to be decades ago, and what has it become? What is our personal experience with multiplayer gaming? Yeah, so that's what our topic is today. But before we start, we always have to begin with what we are currently playing. So I'll go last. Sorry.
First off, let's introduce who we have. I know we've had them on before, but we've got John and we've got Bobby back. John and Bobby have both been on podcasts in the past, and yeah, both of these podcasts have been really fun. And we've been enjoying having additional people with us. But we figured we try a four-way. We love a three-way. Let's try a four-way.
My favorite part about this is John and I are the complete opposite. John is like the purest collector, anti-grading. I'm the terrible reseller guy who's pro-grading or pro-making money anyway.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we're above you. Just keep that in mind.
No,
John also said he would invest in Robin and my grading service.
Yes.
He told me that he's an investor.
Oh, amazing. All right. Well, I mean, that's one less call we have to make.
So, like Robin said, we always like to play games, and we're going to let you know, what we've been playing as of lately.
Okay,
Robin,
cool.
how about you go first?
All right. I don't know if I said this in the last podcast, but I finally finished Horizon Zero Dawn. Really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was an amazing game. I think it's a lot better when you go through it playing for larger chunks of time as opposed to smaller chunks of time, so that helped. And then I switched over to another game that I started but didn't finish, and that was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And that is a very, very tough game. That's actually going to be a podcast topic, but it's a very difficult game. Usually I like to play games on hard, and I can't do that with Fallen Order. And one thing that's really frustrating about this game is if you beat a map, there's no fast travel back to the ship. You have to find your way back through the madness of whatever the map is, and I think that's really annoying.
That would drive me nuts.
Huge waste of time. So if they didn't have that, the game would be 10 times better. But that's what I'm playing.
That's so they can put on the back of the box, 150 hours of gameplay.
It's really bad marketing.
It's marketing, yeah.
Yeah.
120 hours is getting back to the ship.
It's like Death Stranding.
Oh my God. Never again.
Bobby did.
Oh God. It was awful.
Oh shit.
It's like when you buy one of those walking simulators, but then right off the bat, a dog comes out and maims you, and you just spend the whole game limping. doubles the length of the game because your character can only hobble around the house. What secrets will you uncover? If only you could make it up the stairs.
Is that a worm? Oh!
All right, cool. So that's what I'm playing. Who's next? Wilson, you're next on my screen. So maybe what are you playing?
Okay. So back on the last episode, I talked about Crosscode, and honestly, that's still what I'm playing. I'm 60 hours in now, and talking about not wasting time, but using a lot of time. I'm spending a lot of time just exploring the area. It will tell you how many treasure chests there are for certain areas. So after I've done completing a spot, I'll go back and I'll look around everywhere. And sometimes it will take me an hour, 2 hours, trying to find that last chest. And sometimes it's a puzzle. Sometimes it's just hidden. And I'm still loving Crosscode. I don't think any of you have played it yet. I think this would be a John game out of anybody here, to be quite honest. But I seriously want people to try it. It's so good. It's a lot of fun.
Dope. Awesome. What about you, John? What are you playing?
I've been playing Super Mario 3D World.
Oh, on Switch?
On the Switch. It was my favorite Wii U game, so I figured I would go through it again on the Switch. I'm taking it world by world, getting all the stars, all the stamps, and I'm looking forward to doing Bowser's Fury, which is the expansion. And I've been playing Overcooked 2 online with some friends of mine in Calgary. It's something for us to do because I'm in lockdown basically by myself. So getting to play online with friends has been nice.
Yeah, I think what is Wilson doing?
That was a hug. I was hugging you.
Oh, thank you.
Adjusting the screen for a second.
Yeah, I thought you wanted some dermatology advice.
Yeah. What is this?
Thank you, Wilson. I thought we were going to try to keep the show PG rated, but I guess not anymore.
We're not.
Yeah. I'm Spider-Man.
Oh my goodness.
I'm surprised that you didn't go right to Bowser's Inside Fury because I'm sure you've already played. You said it's your favorite Wii U game, so you've already played Mario 3D World. Like myself, I would have gone right to Bowser's Inside Fury. So I got to give you props for playing a game again before playing a new one. That's awesome.
It's been 8 years,
Even still, it's something that you have experienced before. So, to not try something brand new with a brand new experience, because Bowser's Inside Fury, is that what it's called? No, it's Bowser's Fury. I don't know why.
Bowser's Fury, yeah.
Yeah. Bowser's Fury has this really neat kind of open world aspect to it. And I like the frantic pace of it. I haven't played it, but it looks like something right up my alley.
Yeah. Too bad you're busy playing Crosscode.
Hey, at least he's not busy playing Genshin Impact anymore. That's what he was saying for 10 episodes. It's like, hey, Wilson, what are you playing? Genshin Impact? That's all I play.
Yeah, I know. And I put 100. I found out I put 160 hours into that game tops.
So was that like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 160 hours or something?
Yeah. How would you rate the quality of those hours?
I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed my time with it more than I started to get frustrated, because with games like that, you're gonna have that bit of frustration. Like the whole level up system, and when you get to certain levels, the world around you levels up as well, so enemies get tougher, and that's actually why I stopped playing Genshin Impact, because of that whole problem. I got to a really high level, and this boss that was supposed to be much easier was at a higher level than me, and that just super sucked. So if I had stayed not looking around all these side quests and finding all of these items, I probably would have had an easier time with him, and maybe I'd still be playing Genshin Impact, maybe to completion.
Jesus.
Till you completed, or till the game was completed?
Till I completed the base game, because they keep having all these add-ons and expansions.
That went right over your head.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's going back to being Spider-Man. Bobby, what are you playing?
I'm playing this super ultra realistic game called House Hunter 3D.
Oh,
because my house sold. So
Okay.
now I basically play this game where I go look at 10 to 15 houses in a day.
what?
Some of them are really nice, and some of them look like somebody peed all over the house. And yeah, basically we make offers, and it's kind of like you make an offer, you sit around for 3 hours playing, waiting, and then you find out you didn't get the house. We're going to make some more offers tomorrow. We're actually going to look at a few more houses tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Unfortunately, my time has been consumed with the house hunting. But today I was at the flea market, and I played a little bit of Star Fox 64.
Nice.
I love that game.
On the N64 version or the 3DS version?
The N64 version.
Nice.
Yeah. I got an N64 hooked up there, and Smash Brothers just runs on a loop, so people come by and, ooh, Smash Bros. And I was like, this has been on for 2 weeks. I'm going to throw something else in. And then I had a bit of free time, so I played.
Nice.
So that's what I've been playing this week.
How many offers have you made so far?
We made 2 offers.
Okay. And how many houses have you seen?
We've seen 25.
Holy shit.
And we're looking at, but I mean, there's a lot of houses that we wouldn't make offers on.
Okay. True.
Right?
Yeah.
So tomorrow we're going to be looking at 2 houses that we really like that we've already seen. We're going to look at them again. We are making offers on both of them. And basically, we'll see which house if we're lucky enough to close one. And then there's a few more houses we didn't get to see on the weekend that we're going to go check out again. Or I said that we're going to check out for the first time.
Sweet.
So Genshin Impact sounds a lot more fun than that. Just
trust me, it is.
Bobby's leveled up from buying and selling games to buying and selling houses now. So I think there's gonna be less competition in pickup wars. Bless you, John.
Oh,
so
Robin,
are you
Robin? I got one coming tomorrow.
No, is it epic?
It's the Bowser's Fury.
Oh, I can't wait to see what that's gonna look like, man. That's gonna be nuts.
After you've purchased your house, are you going to send it away to get it graded?
I might.
Wait, are you sending it away to Bobby and Robin's grading services though?
You're not allowed inside the house, but check out that 9.7 rating.
Okay,
my whole house is encapsulated in acrylic.
You guys are gonna hate this. I mean, like I think John and Wilson will probably hate this, but there's a Super Mario Bros. Original NES Circle Seal 9.6.
I already hate it.
It's currently on the auction market. Guess what it's going at right now?
I don't even want to know.
Wild guess.
$12.
No. 40 grand.
250,000 US, and it's expected to clear 400. There's a possibility of it clearing 400. It's gonna be nuts.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like one of the most widely produced cartridges ever.
It is, but that's what made But the thing is, stuff that is widely produced tends to be opened and played. So if it's widely produced and kept in pristine shape, that's the stuff that the hardcore people want to go after.
So we're not going to talk about grading this episode.
Oh, damn it.
but I want your opinion, Robin. The high, like the super high end, the stuff that's like 20 grand plus, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, 400 grand. The guys who are buying this are not keeping this. They're speculators.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
They are 100%.
Yeah, they're not keeping that stuff.
No. There was I think I spoke about the dentist guy who bought he partnered with somebody and bought $1 million of games in 2018. And that's when WATA got a lot of press. They're doing another documentary, and he's part of the documentary now. And it said he has something like 350 games, and all in total, they equal around $5 to $6 million. So if you take a look at it as a speculative investment, that's almost like 4 to 6 times return on investment on $1 million, which is a ton.
If you
How are you doing, John? How are you doing over there, John? Bye.
It's just a mop.
John, come back so we can talk about multiplayer games.
See what you did? This is your own fault.
I promise I'm not going to talk about graded games anymore. Where did he go? He's
Guess who's back? Back again.
John, I promise I'm not going to talk about graded games anymore.
Sorry about that. I had to throw up.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I'm totally keeping that in, by the way. That's staying in. So yeah,
I was really hoping it would just be a mop and an empty chair.
Player 4 has entered the game.
So, Bobby, you were saying that you played Star Fox 64. That kind of correlates with our topic of today, which is multiplayer games. Have you guys ever played Star Fox 64 multiplayer wise?
I have not.
Briefly.
It was a lot of fun. It's with the whole like screen cheat kind of thing. Yeah. It made it a little bit more difficult, but I used to play multiplayer games where I had the system hooked up to like 4 different TVs through like coaxial and like splitters. I was really good with that.
That's a proper LAN party.
Yeah, exactly. It was back in the day, like a cheap, poor welfare LAN party. And everybody had their own TV and everybody had their own screen because all the other parts were blocked. So you'd only be able to see your screen. So you couldn't see where the other person was. And we had a lot of fun with that. We did it with GoldenEye, with Star Fox 64, and all the other ones that we were probably going to talk about as well. So, let's start it off. Like, what is your favorite multiplayer game for each person? What do you think is the best multiplayer game? What gave you the best memories? And maybe even share one of your memories.
Sure.
Are we talking strictly 4-player games or just multiplayer in general?
I would like to more focus on couch co-op because I find with a couch co-op situation, there's a little bit more craziness involved because you can look at the other person right next to you and maybe punch them or something like that. Because
Okay.
I'm sure,
I'm going to cut you off. You threw in another word there, co-op. So that I mean,
couch co-op to me is still 4 players, but you're just in the same room. Do you want me to call it something else, like couch multiplayer or something?
Yeah, well, couch multiplayer is when you're competing, and couch co-op is when you're sort of joining forces.
Sure.
Yeah, it's literally called couch cooperative.
Semantics. All right, you know what I'm saying.
I agree with you, Wilson. That's what I think of a couch co-op as well.
Yeah,
so screw
even
you,
though
John.
you're against each other, it's still couch co-op. That's just how it has always been to me.
Yeah.
Well, why does this not surprise me that you think that co-op is just any situation that benefits you?
Can you get them off back in here?
All right, who's going first?
I'll go first. So I'll do one of each. My favorite couch game is Mario Kart 8, which is just the best multiplayer experience because people of all skill levels can enjoy it, and it's just so well designed. Anyone can win because of the very heavy rubber banding, which I know competitive players might not like to hear, but no, it's just the game's a party. As far as couch co-op goes, I think Castle Crashers is a hoot, where the 4 players take on the computer together. It's got a leveling system for people who want to play for a long time, but it's also pretty basic for anyone, and it supports short play sessions or long play sessions.
Have you played it like multiple times?
I have.
Yeah, like multiple sessions. Yeah, and
Yep.
Did you find it's a different experience each time?
Well, the thing with Castle Crashers is it's got a level select. So if you're playing with low level people, you can just play the first couple levels over and over again as you level up. And if you're playing, with more powerful characters, you just go right to the end. But that initial run through with your buddies, I should say they have a mechanism in the game where you can resurrect your friends when you get killed. So if you really, are skilled and have good timing, you can get through any situation just by bringing them back to life. But if your characters are really powerful, you don't need to do that. So there's 2 ways to do it.
And Castle Crashers is like a beat 'em up, right?
Yeah, it's like a Turtles in Time or Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, and you love your beat 'em up. Speaking of beat 'em ups, did you you jumped on Undercover Cops, right?
I did not.
What? You told me about it. You were like, Undercover Cops. You gotta get it, Wilson. Like,
No, I believe my phrase was, "Are you going to get Undercover Cops?" But it's a port of, or not a port. It's a reproduction of the Super Famicom version. I would rather play the arcade because the Super Famicom version is single player. Like, who likes a single player beat 'em up?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
The arcade version supports 2 players. That's where it's at.
All right, Bobby. What about you? What do you think is the best multi-couch game?
So, I mean, if you're just asking like strictly a game where there's more than one person playing at a time, I love Street Fighter. I always have. And I like the early Street Fighter stuff. I played it in the arcade. Once it got to like alpha, I kind of fell off. I haven't played any of the online multiplayer Street Fighter 4, any of that stuff, although I feel like I'd be able to hold my own once I got the hang of whatever's new is happening. But I mean, I played some really great games over at John's place with Tricky Towers.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
That game was just so much fun. I'm actually wearing the Boom Shakalaka shirt from the night at John's place where we played the 2v2 tournament. NBA Jam is great, and I mean that's co-op. And if you're playing Tournament Edition, I guess you can also play it 4-player.
Yeah, 2 versus
against
2.
somebody. So it's like co-op versus co-op. Is that a terminology?
I mean that's both. That's co-op and competitive.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
the NBA Jam is definitely a 4-player. Like I
we
remember.
we kicked some ass that day.
Yeah, we
guys did?
lost. But we were so close to
Well,
winning.
we lost with Overcooked or something, didn't we?
I think we lost with NBA Jam.
No, I mean we swept. Like we basically swept up until the end.
You did not. You did not win at Overcooked 2.
That's where we lost.
Yeah, or it was the first one. It was the first one.
Yeah, Overcooked is great as well. Yeah. I mean, Secret of Mana is good if you can get a few people to sit around and play for that long.
Have you guys ever done that? Like played Secret of Mana with 3 people?
I have once or twice, and we didn't get through the whole game because it's so hard to get people to commit to that. You also have to remember that I'm like an only child. I have no friends. Nobody likes me. It's tough to get people to play with.
Here's the thing: is like it's easier than ever to get Secret of Mana going with friends now that it's been ported to the Switch and 3 controllers. I mean, if you have 3 controllers, you can go. If you have 2 Joy-Con and a Pro Controller, you can go.
Yeah.
But is it easier than ever to get friends?
Well, you can buy robots.
Just have like a
suck your dick.
Sorry.
I honest to God have never ever like on my Xbox One or PS4 played an online game with other people. Like I don't own a headset.
Oh.
I have no interest in playing online, Call of Duty, any of those games where you play online. I have no interest in it.
You're missing out, man. Me and Tank.
I think it's just growing up, lonely. I've just grown that thick skin. I'm like, I don't want people. I don't want friends.
Tears coming down.
Tattoo.
Get yourself a good RPG. Talk to the NPCs.
That's right. Yeah. That's what I do in Fallout. I play Fallout and I just hang out with NPCs all day.
Talk to the NPCs. Just the same guy over and over. I go an arrow to the knee. I go an arrow to the knee.
When the other characters in my party die, I don't use a Phoenix down. I have a funeral.
That's just sad.
Press A to show respects.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking about press, so a couple of my favorite games growing up was, I think it was Halo 2 that was co-op. So I played Halo 2, skipped some school, and had a friend over, and we powered through that campaign, beat it in a couple of days. That was really fun. Smash Bros is still one of my favorites of all time. And I would say the Project M, which is an offshoot of Brawl, that was by far my favorite. I remember I used to go to my friend's place and we would, like 4 of us would get together and we'd play from 10 p.m. to like 5 a.m. every single day during our summer breaks. And we then incorporated Super Smashed Bros. And essentially what that is like if you lose a round, you got to take a shot. And if you win,
we've all done that.
Yeah, if you win a round, you can give a shot to somebody else. So that was really, really fun. And yeah, like those two are the biggest standouts for me.
Did you ever get into any of the Smash Brothers knockoffs, like PlayStation All Stars or?
No, never. Like I think Air Guys is pretty decent on the PS1, but it just didn't hold up.
Only 2 players.
Power Stone was good. Power Stone on Dreamcast was a really, really good game. So I think
Power Stone was like the what do you call it? The subsidiary? No, the the precursor to like Smash Brothers. And I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, and it's
such a good game, man.
Really good game. It's a lot of fun. It's not exactly like Smash Brothers. It's more like isometric or top down, and it's more about like throwing items at each other and like kind of
superpower. Like
sorry,
in Smash Bros, if you get your superpower, you do one attack and it's like that's it. But in Power Stone, you get your superpower and you like transform into something that's pretty OP for like 20 seconds or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Talking about Smashed Bros, we used to play Beerio Kart, where basically you had to finish your beer before the end of your race. And I had a friend who would literally, it would be like, doot, doot, doot. Light turns green. He would shotgun that beer.
Yeah.
And then just start racing. So he never had to stop racing. He was like, he'd get the whole beer in him in about 4 seconds, and then he's just racing around. But the beauty of it was by the time you're on the 6th race, this guy's had 6 beers in 15 minutes. And he's like burping and foam's coming out and he's got to go throw up.
Are you okay?
Well, I guess you never won.
Because the rule of that was you had to finish the beer before you got to the end of the race, but you had to pull over and stop the car in order to drink. So you
can't drink and drive.
That's right.
Yeah.
I just saw an article saying Florida man argues his DUI by saying he was only drinking at stop signs.
Anytime it's Florida man, it's going to be a juicy article. Wilson, what about you? What's your favorite?
Oh yeah, we haven't done me yet. Yeah.
Do me.
It's funny you talk about Mario Kart. Like I think a lot of my good memories were with like Mario Kart 64, especially like Block Fort. I had such a good time with Block Fort in Mario Kart 64. Like you get the green shells and you fired them all, and everybody be having to avoid those green shells in battle mode, and the 3 levels. Like, oh my god, like back in the day at like when Zellers and like all those like department stores had a 64 on display that people could play, my friends and myself would go after school to Zellers because we were all poor, and we'd play Mario Kart. And the worst part is like it would do that reset thing. Do you remember that? Like you'd play for a bit and then the console would reset itself like it was on a timer, so you'd have to like, you know, start all over. But we never left, and we had
wasn't the point of the reset just to make you leave?
Yeah, I know. No, I know what it was there for, but it just never worked. Worst repellent ever. And
you're like, hey, we can start again.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
It should have gassed you. You just passed out.
Yeah, to like throw like a tear gas bomb.
Some Zellers employees just dragging you out.
A buddy of mine got an N64. It was like for Christmas or something, and he never really played it, and he let me borrow it for a few months, maybe even half a year. So during that time, I would have my friends over and I would rent games, and we would play like multiplayer games for hours and hours, and it was such a lot of fun. Like Mario Kart, my favorite. So if we're talking about the best 4-player games and experiences I've ever had, it will always go back to the N64. I think the N64 has these memories that I haven't really been able to replicate as well as you know, with the newer games. Although I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played as many new multiplayer games as I have like the old ones. So maybe that's just why. But you know, with Mario Kart, GoldenEye, License to Kill, and Pistols, that was my jam. That was my go-to. And I, you know, you'd always have that like that moment where everybody finds everybody at the same time and kills each other. So you'd have you'd have all this blood on the screen, and everybody was starting over and everybody yelling at each other. Those are the memories that I like remember the most.
I just had a memory. You actually played a more recent multiplayer game with me and totally ruined it.
I was hoping you'd bring it up.
So have you guys heard of a game called A Way Out?
Oh no. I've heard the story.
Or The Way Out?
Yeah, so A Way Out is this 2-player game where you can either play it online, cooperatively, like from 2 different locations, as long as you both have the game, or couch co-op. And it's 2 guys getting out of prison, and you have to help each other solve puzzles or do certain actions where one guy has to, look out for a guard while the other guy does something like remove a grate off a wall. I played this with Wilson, and Wilson, for no reason whatsoever, is off in the yard working out, which has absolutely no bearing on the game. It doesn't level you up. It doesn't do anything. He's like shooting a basketball, doing stuff that absolutely has nothing to do with it. And I'm just standing around waiting for him for 10 minutes at a time, to the point where I just said, you know what, I'm done. And I just threw the game off.
This is all making sense to me. The guy who doesn't understand the meaning of co-op.
Zing! You're an idiot.
There's a laundry room area in that game,
and
I would find stuff on the ground, and I would pick it up, and I would just walk around with it, and then put it back down, and it drove this guy nuts.
Were you doing that to drive him nuts, though?
Sorry?
Were you doing that to drive him nuts?
Oh, absolutely it was. Basically the mission was like one guy had to hide in the laundry basket, and then you had to put like laundry on top of him and like sneak him past the guards. And Wilson's just picking up laundry and not bringing it to me or pushing me towards where I have to go. He's just picking up laundry and moving it from one spot to another over and over and over again for, swear to God, like 10, 15 minutes. And I can't do anything. You can't progress in the game. You can't do anything.
So
okay.
Have we all talked about our favorite games? I haven't been keeping track.
I want to throw a couple more onto the pile.
Go for it, man. Yeah, totally.
One of my oldest multiplayer memories was Super Bomberman, because they would pack in the multi-tap with the game. So if you got Super Bomberman, you had multi-tap, and that game was a party.
Was it the Saturn one where you could have like up to 16 people or something like that?
It was the Super Nintendo version.
No, Bobby's right.
But this is the one I played in 1993.
Yeah. It's 4 players for Super Bomberman, 1 and 2 actually.
Yeah.
And that's funny you bring that up, John. I used to rent that, and I would play that with friends for hours. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't know, what's your memory with it?
No, I was talking about I think it was the Saturn one where you could literally get like 3 multi-taps or 4 multi-taps and have 12 or 16 people playing simultaneously. Isn't that a thing?
I want to say it was 10.
Maybe. Yeah. I just remember like the hardest part of it is finding 10 people who can play with you.
We need to do that one day, John. We need to,
especially during COVID. COVID be damned. Let's get 10 people who are playing Bomberman.
Well, the original Nintendo had Bomberman 2, which supported 3-player multiplayer. I'm guessing the NES couldn't handle the 4th player. But if you had a 4-score or a satellite, you could play 3-player deathmatch Bomberman 2.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Was it good?
Yeah, it was Bomberman.
The formula is there.
I mean, it's not as good as 4 players, but it's better than 2.
Did you have a favorite arena in Super Bomberman?
I know that if you pick the one with the plants that regrow after you blow them up, which is nice because you don't get into that stalemate at the end, but also you could get the bombs where you could detonate them manually, and as soon as you had that, you could just own the room.
Yeah, the remote bomb.
Yeah, because you could just like kick the bomb, and as soon as it lines up with your opponent, blow it up.
Yeah, Super Bomberman was really cool because not only did you have that like multiplayer aspect of like, kill or be killed, you also had this like variety of different areas that you could choose to be in. All arenas, like, you had the normal one that looked like a regular Bomberman area. And then like John said, you've got like the plants one. So you could like place a bomb, get away from it, and a plant would grow like right in front of you, and the bomb and the plant would like block you in, and you would die like right away. There was another one with like treadmills or conveyor belts that the bombs could move on. There was a warp one that people really cheesed about. There was like a power one where everybody was like the same power with like the most explosive fiery blast you could have, and everybody's fast and everything. Like there were all of these really cool areas, and yeah, that was a great time.
So Bomberman is like kill or be killed, like you said. So it was like the first battle royale. Mm-hmm. So does that mean like Bomberman is like the precursor to Fortnite?
I would call it more like a death match.
No, I've decided Bomberman is what's made Fortnite.
Without Bomberman, we'd have no Fortnite.
No, fuck off.
Epic Games should really like send some money to Hudson. What was it, Hudson Soft or whatever? Yeah, maybe like we're gonna bring it back from the ditches and turn it into a profitable company just because you made us.
At the very least, make a Bomberman skin.
We should.
You're just this like little short little round guy running around dropping bombs.
So I think what we've been talking about when we talk about like multiplayer has been more couch co-op, but I think like the whole premise of what multiplayer games are nowadays has changed. When I think of multiplayer games now, I think of stuff like Fortnite, stuff like PUBG, stuff like StarCraft, and I feel as though a lot of, even when you take a look at systems, there's very few new generation systems that are offering couch co-op on their systems, and they're mostly pushing towards like online play. What are your guys' thoughts on like this whole transition? Do you think it's better for the gaming world? Do you think it kind of takes away from it? What do you guys think?
I personally don't get it. It's just never been something that I've been into. The problem is like Call of Duty. I could never walk into Call of Duty right now and have a good time. I'd literally get in, go to some room, and get my head blown off in 60 seconds.
Yeah. I've never played Call of Duty multiplayer ever. Yeah, like I've never played it online.
Neither have I. I just know what it's going to be like.
I think.
Wow, you must really hate yourself.
I think there's advantages and disadvantages. For example, if you're the best player on your block at Street Fighter 3, you know, and you're beating the crap out of all your friends, you know, try playing Street Fighter 3 online in, you know, 2021, and the people who are left on that server who are still playing it will destroy you.
Yeah,
like no doubt, like the best of the best, and that's where you can go and you can find out your place in the world. Like my favorite competitive game to play, you know, by myself online is Tetris 99, because I can log in and, you know, I can just destroy strangers. You know, my friends don't want to play against me, but, you know, strangers don't know that I'm coming. So, you know, that's the advantage, you know, of the online gaming is, you know, you expand your circle, you know. Someone, you know, like Bobby, who's really good at Street Fighter, might enjoy that. Whereas something like Call of Duty, where, you know, it's more community based, you do want to have people in the room, you know, to celebrate your victory with. But something that's a one-on-one experience, you know, online matchmaking is perfect.
Yeah,
it's like a world arcade.
I'm not really into online multiplayer, but it doesn't mean that I haven't had fun with it. Like, you know, GTA Online, I had a great time with that. I had a lot of fun. And a lot of times the reason I don't do the multiplayer is because of the connection aspect of it. Sometimes I can't connect to a server, or I can't connect to you know, a match, or, you know, you're playing and you get kicked out. Like, those are all kind of things that pushed me away from it. But I remember playing GTA Online for my first time because my friends had wanted me to get into it. And we did our first mission together, and everybody died. And I was the newbie, and all my friends had died on the first, like on the mission that we were doing together. And I was like, you know, I didn't have that much power. I was a new player in the whole online thing. And I won it for all of us. And like, it's kind of a good feeling to kind of be the victor for everybody else, even though you haven't, you know, played as much as the other people. And I guess that's kind of a thing I like about multiplayer as well. Like John's saying, playing with people like outside of your circle, because I haven't played, you know, in real life with these people. Like, they're just friends that, you know, we used to play together.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about like the online capability that we have now versus what was available to us 10 years ago or whatever, like 20 years ago. John says, like, let's play Mario Kart. It's literally as easy as turning on your Switch and we're all playing Mario Kart from across Ontario, right? That's a good time. You know what I mean? John's really good at Mario Kart, so screw that guy. He's good at all games. He's a bastard. It's no fun playing against him. But I mean, like, I imagine that on the Switch, there's like online beat 'em ups that we could play together.
The Switch,
you know,
yeah. What were we going to play together, John? We were going to do Double Dragon 2, weren't we?
Yes, with the virtual console, because it supports multiplayer.
Yeah, because you told me that there's a better ending than the shitty one that I've been getting every time I've played Double Dragon 2. And yeah, I really want to do that now. Because what is it? You said you have to play with 2 players to get the ending?
You have to play it on hard.
Oh.
Well, good luck getting that ending. Refresh my memory. Double Dragon 1, I know, has that stupid control setup where if you're facing one way, punch and kick are reversed and versus the opposite.
That's the second one.
Has that as well.
That's the second one.
That is the second one. Ugh. Yeah. I'm out. I'm not playing with you.
It's a great game until you get to level 6, when they decided to go from beat 'em up to jumping puzzles, disappearing floors and spikes that suck your lives away. Yeah.
But that soundtrack, man, oh my goodness. Like, all the like Technos games were really good with like what they incorporated into their like for their sounds, like Super Dodgeball and Double Dragon and Double Dragon 2. Super Dodgeball, that's another really fun game. I don't know if you can do 4 players.
I've never played that game.
Super Dodgeball I played, but I found it super easy playing it on my own. Like, literally you catch the ball, you do that super running throw, and like I just plow through teams. I don't know. I found it really easy. Maybe I found some like sort of hack with it, but it was stupid.
You are also too good at video games, Bobby.
Maybe. Because I just sat around playing by myself because I had no family, no friends.
We got a lot of
thanks for the hug, Melson.
One really good multiplayer game that it's a really good equalizer for players of all skill levels is Splatoon.
I've never played
Really?
that. Because Splatoon actually doesn't reward you for killing or fragging other players. It's strictly painting the ground. So as long as you're able to control territory and avoid getting killed and paint the ground, you're contributing towards your team. So you might have one player on your team who's really good at blowing up the other players, and when you get blown up, I mean you're sort of you're sent away for a couple seconds. You have to respawn at the back of the map, and while that's happening, the other team gets to paint the ground, and it's you win the match by having more of the ground painted in your color, and that's the only way you win the match. So if you can be that that shitty player who just runs around painting the ground, and you're helping your team, and you feel useful.
Speaking of colors, that just reminded me of a game that you got me into, and I think you actually got it for me, John, is Runbook, which is a good multiplayer game. It also has a single player campaign, which you've gone through, and I still have yet to play. But
that's the one with the 9-player simultaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is such a good time. Wilson, I think you played that with us at some point.
I did, and Angela, your fiance, was a. I'm saying this nicely. She was a bitch. When she played with us, just a monster.
To put this into context, Runbook has sort of like a puppet master mode, because it was developed originally for the Wii U, and the player who has the tablet can tap the screen and add or subtract obstacles for the other players.
Oh man, and she would like giggle like a schoolgirl while she's screwing us all over.
a cruel deity.
Well, because I mean, the puzzle master or the color master or whatever it's called can win the game by screwing over all of the players.
Oh, they all have to die for them to win, right?
Yeah.
So not only are we racing each other and trying to knock each other out of the way, running to the right or running to the left or whatever, but we also have Bobby's fiance trying to kill us.
Speaking of games that use the tablet for Wii U, we forgot like a big one. We forgot Nintendo Land, and Nintendo Land doesn't get as much love as people don't think it's as good as other games, but I enjoyed my time with Nintendo Land. It was a lot of fun. I think there were some 5-player games in it as well. Did you guys ever try Nintendo Land at all?
I was just gonna say, is this a multiplayer game?
I remember it had like a Ghostbusters mode, where like one player played as the ghost and the other 4 had to like find this invisible character on the map. And it was laid out kind of like Pacman.
Yeah, and you would the object of the game for first off, since I don't know if you guys noticed, but Nintendo Land wasn't just one game. It was like multi or different various games that people could do, and every game was like had something in common with like a Nintendo franchise. So
it was a tech demo for the Wii U tablet, saying look at all these different asymmetrical gaming experiences we can have, where one player has more power than the others by holding the tablet, which was the point of the Wii U.
Look at all these ideas, exactly. So the one that John is talking about was associated with Luigi's Mansion. So you had one player as a ghost, and it might have actually only been 3 players. Anyways, the other players were all Luigi's trying to stop that ghost. And the ghost was trying to scare all the Luigi's. And you could revive your Luigi if you got to them in time and like stayed with them for a bit. It was like a timed moment. So you have to be there for like, I don't know, 10 seconds or something to like revive them, as the ghost is like slowly trying to get you. And sometimes like lightning would go off in this room and you could see the ghost for a quick second. It had all these really cool ideas. And the one person was using the tablet, and everybody else was just using a controller. But a better one, not a better one, but one that actually had a more interesting idea was, it was like, I think it was called Toad Run. And one person had the tablet and they were trying to catch one of the other players. And you could see the other players, but the other players only had the screen, the TV to focus on. So they can only see what was in front of them, while you had like this overview of like where all the players were. So you had to try and chase them. No, you were running away from them and they were trying to catch you. My bad. So yeah, they were trying to catch you and you could see where all they all were. And you would like have to like dodge them and avoid them, and they could like slide at you. And it was really cool because I think what made it interesting was one person had a completely different view than everybody else. And that's kind of like what Nintendo Land was. It had these different ideas where there was one view for one person and everybody else had like a whole different view.
The prototype, that experience, actually started on the GameCube. There was a game called Pacman Versus, and it was a bonus disc that came with a bunch of different Namco games on the GameCube. And the idea was you could use the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Advance connector.
Oh.
So that, one player on the Game Boy Advance would have a different view of the board. So 3 players would play as ghosts, and 1 player would play as Pac-Man. And the ghost would try to capture Pac-Man.
Did you ever play that?
Yep.
With the Game Boy and whatever?
Yep. If you had Game Boy Advance and GameCube, you could try a bunch of like really cool games. Like what was the other one? Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles was really different.
Give him a shot.
Four Swords had a function like that.
Yep. Legend of Zelda 4 Swords was great for Wilson. It was a competitive co-op. Where you guys where you team up together to beat a level, but then it also keeps score, so the player with the most points wins. So you get the best of both worlds.
And it had some pretty cool areas too. Like each player was like, there was like all these jewels that you could collect, or like gems, or like triangular gems. And
are you talking about rupees?
Is that what they are? Were they rupees?
Yeah.
It's always been rupees.
They stole
like
people.
They were like 8-sided or 6-sided gems.
Were they? I thought they were. Maybe I'm thinking of Link's Awakening with that big triangle power.
The Triforce?
No. It's like a power. I know. I'm serious. You know what? When I'm editing this, I'm going to post a picture of that stone that I'm talking about.
What are you waving around there? A prison shank?
It's a knife.
No. Yeah, a way out. No. It's my letter opener. I don't know why. I'm going like that. I'm gonna get you.
Wilson, you were also taking sips of like cold coffee and warm coffee at the same time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have some very interesting tastes. On the topic of taste, I think we have another thing that we wanted to discuss, but we're already at 50 minutes on this episode, so maybe we should leave that for the next one. And
no.
You want to add that to this?
We can give a couple minutes.
Oh my God. Okay.
It wasn't going to be long.
This is going to be a very long episode. But okay, so our next thing that we want to talk about is food to eat while you're gaming. This is either like the food.
Sorry,
foods that
it
you
kind
like
of correlates with like gaming with your friends, and we want to talk about like ideas for, well, not ideas, but maybe what we like to eat while we're gaming, so we don't get stuff on our controllers and stuff. So like safer food.
Okay, so this is a bit of a tangent. So like I picked up a lot of like systems and controllers a while back, and when I was cleaning it, I usually use like a toothpick to go through the crevice between the controller and like pick all the dirt out. And I had this like one set of controllers, and when I was picking this out, like it was still grimy, like Doritos mixed with like Mountain Dew mixed with some Cheetos dust and like all this other nastiness, and it all came out in one big ass strip, and I could smell like the residue while I was cleaning it, like the most disgusting experience of my life. So as if you're somebody that's ever considering selling your games like 10 years down the road, please don't eat Cheetos and don't eat Doritos with the same hand that you use your controller.
I was going to say, Robin, with your experience scraping, skin bits out of the controllers, I mean, you get enough of that DNA, you can grow a person.
I'm sure I could.
Or at the very least, make a really cool scented candle.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was a terrible idea. You were right. We should have ended it.
Yeah. But
well,
what
John,
do you guys
John does like John does like a little, charcuterie. He'll have like a little bit of meat, some cheese, some crackers, which is very easy to eat.
I put out vegetables.
And vegetables.
Yep.
I put out vegetables because everyone who shows up wants to bring chips. So I need to balance that.
Well, you're on the health kick. Like I just finished eating McDonald's right before this podcast started getting recorded. I had a quarter pounder and some fries.
Nice. What do you guys like to eat though? Like if you're sitting down for like a 2-3 hour session of gaming, what do you guys like to eat? Like for me, I like pizza a lot. If I'm gaming, I will have pizza while I game, and it's like I'll have a slice. It's usually like if I'm playing a single player game, it's different if you're playing something competitive. But if I'm playing like Horizon Zero Dawn, I'll have some pizza. I'll have like a slice, then I'll play a bit. Then when I'm hungry again, I'll have another slice, play a bit. I don't like eating chips when I game because I think I'm a bit more OCD with my controllers. And
what if you're playing that Star Wars game and you're heading back to the ship? You just eat the whole pizza.
I would have the whole pizza done by the time I get back.
A bowl of cereal while he's like up.
I would just be drinking like whiskey if that's I need to do something. Like I would have a liquid diet at that point.
I'm extremely diligent about washing my hands whenever I game, just because Switch Pro controllers are $90.
Yeah.
You just don't want to ruin one.
I try to think back to me eating and gaming, and I really don't. I just, it's very rare that I'm doing the same thing, like eating and playing at the same time.
Now,
I used to buy licorice. I had a lot of there's like all these like different types of licorice I used to get. Like Twizzlers have these like multicolored ones. So each licorice has like a different flavor to it. You have like blueberry and watermelon and lemon, and it was really neat. And I used to have like a couple packs down here in my game room. And I'd have one while I'm playing a game, and you could suck on one for like, I don't know, 10 minutes at a time, and they would last.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, they would definitely.
Were you gaming and like purposely not looking at what color you were getting, and then you just pop it in your mouth? Ooh, lemon. Ooh, blueberry.
At least it wasn't Cheeto stuff.
In Japan, for the Super Nintendo, they had a one-handed controller. And the idea behind it was this controller was for RPGs. So it would have the buttons wrapped around like L trigger and R trigger. But you would have a hand free to draw maps if you were playing a dungeon crawler or something. Like I think the is that?
I feel like
that's the PlayStation version. Yeah, something like that.
It's PlayStation, but it's a one-handed controller, and it's used for RPGs.
Yeah. So I feel like there was a Capcom one too.
Yeah.
For like the Super Nintendo.
I think so. And the idea was that you'd have a free hand to draw maps or to eat a sandwich.
Or pizza.
Or pizza.
Or pizza.
Or spaghetti. Or whatever you
want. Use the controller for the spaghetti.
Mom's spaghetti.
Knees weak. Awesome. So I think do we want to talk more about food and eating games? I mean, eating food and playing games.
You've turned me off of this subject completely. I feel like really sick right now.
Well, I just wanted to make that PSA because I think sometimes people don't give enough consideration about the poor resellers like myself and Bobby who are out here hustling on a daily basis, giving
Just
up.
so we can clean your skin flakes and Cheeto dust out of your gross controller.
Let me give a PSA for the other side. You know, if you eat your vegetables and you eat healthy, you get to live longer and you can play more of your games before you die.
And you won't get Cheeto dust in them because you can't get Cheeto dust off a carrot.
You know, like if you want to finish Genshin Impact, you know, you need to live a long time.
Yes,
right.
A very long time.
Although I do like the scented candle idea, I might go with that.
I have no.
Gross. I feel so sick.
Awesome.
And click.
And that's it for this episode. We'll leave it on that note. If you guys want to subscribe to Bobby's new scented candle idea, we'll have a link to our Patreon page at the bottom. If you want to just be an investor like John towards our joint grading services, feel free to donate to that as well. And if you want to donate to Wilson's coffee drinking fund, there's a lot of ways that you can just give us your money. So please go ahead and do that. But yeah, this was a great episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys all next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.